last time. The handicap eased in £2, but stepping up two furlongs in trip's going to help, and we're likely to get a better gauge of where this horse sits, sort of ability-wise today.
Number 3 comes next. Giles Glory, who recorded his first win at the start of the year after gelding operation, received a £6 penalty for that victory.
Yeah, the visor's back on, replacing the cheap piece for the last start. Had 3 quick runs and has been ultimately disappointed since that victory, but is a strong traveller and is not a void of ability.
Number 5, Hover Ranger, is next. Ran with plenty of promise, I thought, on handicap debut at Lingfield last time, over a mile, coming from the widest draw. Given an opening mark of 54, George, I think that definitely looks workable here.
It does indeed, and would be my strong pick in this. I think he'll step forward. Plenty of this gelded son of Galloway for that last start, and he's quite a neat, compact type. Not overly big, but looks pretty well in his skin. I know he's got a sort of clip, but looks well enough in himself.
Yeah, lovely time of year when the sun starts coming out. These horses look very well in their skins normally this time of year. Number 11 is behind that Dawn Melody, right down the field on pretty much all of her 7 starts, off a mark of 45. She has a bit to prove, George.
Very limited and nothing to get too excited about, but as always, she may well progress with age. Rachel Cook and John Bridger do a good job with these low-grade types.
12, I think, is the final one we need to look at, who is Bush Soldier. Second run for Tony Carroll this evening after previously being with George Bowie. Really struggled on all 6 of her starts, but returns to 7 this evening.
That's going to need to help, showing nothing, and on debut at Chelmsford was beaten 20 lengths in a very weak race.
Well, that is them all in the paddock for our first race. The bell has just gone, and they will shortly be heading out to post. Hi Nick, yeah, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed your time at Wincanton. The sun is slowly setting here at Kempton Park. George Baker alongside for 7 races this evening. Horses have just headed down to post for our first race, which is the Unibet Support Safer Gambling Handicap. It's over 7 furlongs, and there's been some money for Giles Glory, who heads the market at 2-1. But George, I know you're a fan of Hove Ranger for Gary and Josh Moore.
I am. I think that first handicap run 42 days ago was very encouraging and much more like it. I think more conventional tracks going to suit a nice long straight for Tom Quealy to be able to get this gelded son of Galloway organised. He will be seen to good effect and run off the same mark as we saw last time. He's got a lot of box ticked.
Definitely, and Electrocutionist that we saw in the paddock comes here in good form, I thought. Things have kind of seemed to really click with this gelding. The last 2 starts, I thought, have been really promising.
They have indeed. He's up £4 for an impressive winner at Wolverhampton 23 days ago. He's an interesting horse because he can miss the break, and he was a beneficiary of a very strong pace at Wolverhampton. With a lot of inexperienced types in this race, horse-wise, it may not set up the same way, so £4 higher is going to make life more difficult if he's slowly away as he normally is.
A lot of these horses are regressing in the weights, and when I was looking at it, it's quite difficult to actually fancy a lot of these in here. But I know you mentioned Hove Ranger, but I also thought Saturday again was interesting. She really outrun her odds. I think it was 200-1 last time. She's in a first-time herd behind Silent Strike, who we saw absolutely bolt in here last week.
Yeah, it was a good enough run, wasn't it? And she was running in a race where she couldn't really be weighted to be competitive in a maiden. She'd been given an opening mark of 43. She ran £7 better than that, the handicapper believes. So she's running in this off a mark of 50. But I'd imagine Simon Dowell's used his sort of race planning brain to try and get her up the weight slightly so she can get in races of this standard, and she's not going to be out the handicap. So she is progressive. That was a much better run last time, and I think she could be a player at a decent price.
I didn't think there was an awful lot of pace that was going to be coming in this race, George.
I thought Private Project could go on for Pat Phelan. First run for Pat Phelan since leaving Archie Watson. Was pretty tactically versatile filly at a low level. She was aggressive, her handicap was pretty poor, but she is the type who would need to show more to be competitive in this.
Well, for the first time this evening, let's head up to Tony Ellis.
Thank you very much. Yeah, last one coming forward now. Here we go. That's Bosch Soldier going forward. We're waiting for one. It's Saturday again, just away from the others. So the last one coming in. Any final bets for race 1? The Unibet Support Safer Gambling Handicap Stakes without Starikova. 1 to load. Saturday again is coming forward now. Giles Glory towards the top of the market. 7 furlongs, the distance for the opener. And this is Saturday again. Simon Dowell's runner. And Paddy Bradley coming forward now to complete the line. We're set for openers. Here we go. Race 1. And they're off. Jumped away. Saturday again, steady coming out. Slow to go towards the inside was Hamish Leake and just chased along early on for the Unibet Support Safer Gambling Handicap Stakes. Up there early on, the red and white colours of Grand Echo. Towards the inside is Electrocution, the noseband. Just taking back. Not a lot of pace on here. Towards the outside, Bosch Soldier allowed to improve in the dark blue and yellow. Just behind those, the white with the black sleeves is Dawn Melody. Wider out without cover. That's Saturday again in black, improving with the grey armlets. Another one that's very keen around the houses is Lady Bergmer in dark blue and white. So his inside is Hove Ranger, who's got a nice sit there, the yellow sleeves and cap. Towards the inside, Giles Glory in the blue with the yellow crossbelts is next. He's been tracked by the slow starter Hamish Leake in a maroon jacket. Then the green of Telling Time, and the back marker in the royal blue is Private Project, who is improving. Private Project. Around the home turn they go. They're past halfway. 3 furlongs left. Against the rails, Grand Echo in the red and white has a narrow lead to Bosch Soldier in the dark blue and yellow. Ridden along is Electrocution on the inside. Out wide is Saturday again. Looking for Hove Ranger now. Looking for an out there. The striped colours. Giles Glory goes for the cutaway in the blue and yellow under Kieran Fallon. A furlong and a half to go. It's still Grand Echo. Here's Giles Glory to the inside. Electrocution is getting going too in the purple. And they're followed by Hove Ranger. They go inside the furlong. Still there in the middle is Grand Echo. Far side Giles Glory. Outside Electrocution, and Hove Ranger all over the top is gathering them all in. Gets there. Hove Ranger to Grand Echo second. Third will be Electrocution. And in behind those was Giles Glory.
Well, there wasn't an awful lot of pace on early doors, and it's turned into a bit of a dash for home. But Tom Queally has timed his run to perfection on Hove Ranger, George, and that's got your day off to a very nice start.
Yeah, good start. Has done very well in the circumstances to win. Tom Queally took back to get in at the start and probably got shuffled back further, one row further than ideal. And he never panicked. He had to ride for luck. You watch his sort of pathway off the home turn. He's sort of just behind mid-pack, and he had to plot his path accordingly. It never really opened up till that last furlong when he was able to switch out. He rode for luck, and you can just see now he's having to sort of wait. He's sort of running just onto hills, and he's able to flick outside Electrocutionist, and that was a win and losing of the race. And this horse done very well in the circumstances to get up.
Ran well at Lingfield last time over the mile, and the step back to 7 furlongs clearly not been a problem, and that's actually probably been the key, the fact that he's been able to stay right to the line and seen it out really strongly.
Exactly, that's right. You can see from stall 8, Grand Echo, who's stepped forward massively on what we've seen to date and run a much better race for Mark Usher and Tyler Hurd, was well positioned in a steadily run race, and Tyler's used his brain at the start. He's eased over very smoothly, and you can just see Chelsea Ballam's runner, Electrocution, was better out the stalls today and was in the box seat position, but they've dawdled down the back straight doing just over 12.5 second furlongs, and it was a very smart ride from Tyler Hurd to get to the front and dictate a sensible fraction. And you could see Saturday again on the outside completely pulled her chances away, and there was a few in the same boat.
Yeah, Grand Echo has run an absolute stormer, really struggled since stepping into handicaps. I thought the last run over 5 furlongs was a bit more promising, but it's really encouraging to see him back up to 7 furlongs today, putting a performance like this with the cheap pieces on.
It was a much better run, and I suppose the proof's going to be if he can back this up. He's been given a beautifully judged ride on the front end and just got caught out by a well-handicapped horse of Gary and Josh Moore's. And the winner's done very well to win in the circumstances, but Tom Queally never panicked. He just let it open up. It'd have been very easy in that situation when he's running into a bottleneck to keep kicking in there and put himself on heels and have to sit and take back. He didn't panic, and horse has done well to get up.
Absolutely. Giles Glory also ran a big race, and Electrocution, something's definitely ticked with that horse over the last couple of starts. Really encouraging over the last couple of weeks. And also we should mention that Chelsea Ballam's horses have been in flying form. She's been bagging in the winners left, right and centre over the last couple of weeks, George.
Yeah, they have been running well, and they placed them extremely intelligently. I think this horse has stepped forward again, and it was much better out the gates today. Just unfortunate to bump into a well-handicapped runner of Gary and Josh Moore's. But I think it will be very interesting to see if this form holds up, because it was a messy run race, and it was very easy to wipe a few of these runs out.
Yeah, definitely. Are you